University is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
Untitled TV, empowering you.
The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
Untitled TV, empowering you.
The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
Untitled TV, empowering you.
The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
Untitled TV, empowering you.
Gallant students of Mbarara University of Science and Technology and the rest of the viewers, a very good evening. My name is Nuha Dan, the Chairperson Electoral Commission 2021 of the MUST Guild elections. I want to begin by wishing you a happy new year 2022 and to thank you all for having kept with us, especially in these unprecedented times of COVID-19. And above all, to thank the Almighty God for He has kept us alive. I know the days have not been easy, especially with this new Omicron virus, but we continue to pray that the Lord keeps us alive, especially in these times when we don't know who has the virus and who do not. Basically, I'm here to address you about the elections that are going to be held in a few weeks' time. If you have been very keen in the university, you have seen different posters here and there. That gives you a brief insight on what we expect to happen in the next 2 weeks or 3. Constitutionally, we should have held these elections in September last year. But because of a few discrepancies here and there, we couldn't. And we give basically credit to the Dean of Students who has tried to contain the situation. And above all, the student leadership that has been there. Yes, we know we did not hold the elections when they were supposed to happen. But basically, this is because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused many of us to report the university in a staggered manner. You remember we had medical students coming in first, where they came to finish their papers, and later on the rest of the students coming in. And with 2 different types of students in the university, some coming in, others leaving, we couldn't hold the election. And that is why it was pushed to this year, 2022. I'll give you a brief insight on what to expect in this election. And then I'll implore to all of you to continue working together so that we get the best election that MUST has ever had. As the Electoral Commission, we are working day and night to ensure that we have a very free and fair election. Important to note, yes, there may be a few issues here and there, but as the Electoral Commission, we are very ready to accommodate each and every one, and any issue that comes up, please, students of Mbarara University of Science and Technology, do not hesitate to reach out to the Electoral Commission for any issue you feel that needs to be addressed, especially within this time when we plan on holding our election. As most of you could have seen, we have displayed very many posters displaying the electoral roadmap. So far, if you have really been very keen, you have seen the Electoral Commission even moving in different resident areas. It is for the very first time that I've seen a very vibrant election. Having been here for 3 years, for the very first time, I'm seeing every resident area of Taso, Kashanyalazi, Kiswahili, coming up with a few people to contest. And that is why you have seen the different members of the Electoral Commission trying to visit the different residents so that we collect registers fully. And if you have not been captured, we implore you to go to the guild office, which is serving as the Electoral Commission offices for now, to make sure you get captured and registered. Regarding the electoral roadmap, we started on Friday 7th, which was basically the release of the electoral roadmap. And so far we have been working along with them to make sure we accommodate each and every activity that has been displayed on the electoral roadmap. Today is a Wednesday where we have been in office the whole day trying to finalize with the registration and sensitization of voters. I think many of you have been able to see a video making rounds on WhatsApp statuses. That is one way we are making sure that we sensitize the voters so that we make sure every person, every student at Must gets to know that we are voting on this very day and we are going to display registers on this very day. Above all, I want to remind you that our mandate as the Electoral Commission is to have a free and fair election where we want every student at Must to exercise his voting rights. And I implore all of you behind that to make sure on that very day of voting the GRCs, which is the 21st of January, a Friday, please turn up and vote your GRCs. I'll give you a brief introduction to the roadmap. Then if anyone has any questions, they will be ushered in. As per the day today, which is a Wednesday, we have been able to register fully and sensitize all the voters. And tomorrow, which is a Thursday, we are going to display the voters register. Basically, this is going to be about the resident areas of Taso, Kashanyalazi, Kiswahili, Katete. And we are doing this so that we accommodate every student. We are informed students have just reported, some even have not reported. But the major reason as to why we display the voters register is to accommodate everyone. If you have not been captured, please come to the guild office and let your name be registered as a voter, because our top priority is to make sure every one of you votes. Number two, we could have captured your name wrongly, and remember to vote, you'll present your student ID, and if the names do not align, then you won't be able to vote. So please critically analyze the registers and make sure that the names registered align with the actual names on the student ID. Very many of you have been asking questions on when we are choosing the polling assistants and the presiding officers. Today I want to make it clear that we are not going to do random choosing. We shall put up an advert for the students to apply. If you want to be a presiding officer, if you want to be a polling agent, please. For a polling agent, you'll work along with the candidate that you're supporting. For the presiding officers, you are going to write application letters to the Guild Electoral Commission, and we shall do the vetting process so that we choose the very best to help us in administering a free and fair election. And on Friday, we shall put up the advert calling for the applications for the polling assistants and presiding officers. The whole of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we shall scrutinize and do the vetting so that we get the very best. And on Sunday, we shall display the people who have gone through very well to be the presiding officers and the polling assistants. Monday 17th is a very big day for us as Mbarara University students. That is when we shall see the GRCs and the guild presidents speaking their nomination forms. That will be Monday 17th of January 2022. On the Tuesday, which is 18th, the GRCs and GRC secretaries will be nominated, duly nominated by the Electoral Commission. That will be on Tuesday. We implore all the people who have interest in taking offices of GRC and GRC secretaries to keep in mind these dates. Because coming past Tuesday as the Electoral Commission, we shall not go against the rules and regulations. We close nominations on Tuesday at 5 p.m. The Wednesday, 19th of January 2022, is another big day where we shall have the nominations of the guild presidents. These nominations will be covered by HTV, which has been one of the closest people that we have worked with ever since last year. And we believe we shall have them working along with us until the end in this very election. On the Thursday, 20th, there will be verification of the nominated presidents with the AR's office. As the EC, we are putting ahead all the rules and regulations and the steps taken so that we get the very best person without going against the rules and regulations of the Electoral Commission. And therefore, we shall respect the rules of consulting from the academic offices to see whether people having interest in the guild president's position have all the papers and credentials to run for that very position. And finally, on Friday, which is the 21st of January, we shall be voting our GRCs and GRC secretaries. The MUST students, I want to remind you again that voting is a right. And we encourage you to please turn up on that very day and vote your GRCs and GRC secretaries. When you don't vote, it means that the ideas that you believe in, you have really decided to throw them away. I want to encourage you to listen to the GRCs and GRC secretaries. Scrutinize whatever they tell you. And on that very day, the Friday, 21st of January, come and exercise your voting rights. This is a call to all of you. Please inform your friends to turn up and vote for the GRCs. We shall gazette the areas that will be catered to be voting areas. And we shall have the voting of also resident areas. That is Boma, Taso, Kashanyala, Kiswahili, and Katete on those very days as well. We are working as the EC to make sure we deliver a free and fair election. Just like I said at the beginning, for any issues that you feel have not been cleared and answered critically, please ensure that you reach out to the Electoral Commission early enough so that we can address those issues before we go into the voting process. Right now, we are still working hard to make sure we have all the registers with the students that are only liable to vote. And we are doing our best to cross-check clearly so that the registers that are going to be used in the voting are the best and right registers. On the Saturday, the 22nd of January, we shall display the duly nominated guild presidents. Endeavor to know whether the person you are supporting has been duly nominated. Let's keep the dates in mind so that we can work along with time and the Electoral Commission. On Monday, on the Monday of the 24th, we shall have the first presidential debate. According to the roadmap, you have seen that it's going to be online. It is going to be a branded debate where we shall have a few people attending in, a few selected people attending in, and the rest of you will watch it online. This is because we are trying to take into account the current COVID-19 variant, Omicron, where people do not know or are not sure if they have it or not. But when you try to look into the community, you realize many people are coughing, many people have flu. So to reduce any chances of the students getting that variant of COVID-19, we are making sure that at least we reduce the numbers of people attending these debates, and we are going to have online debates. How are these debates going to be held? We have two campuses right now. We have the town campus and Chomro campus. And when you check on the roadmap, we are saying 3 online debates. The third one is a final campaign debate. But the first two, one will happen at town campus, and the second debate will happen in Chomro campus. This is to accommodate for all the students of Mbarara University of Science and Technology. On the Thursday, 3rd of February 2022, we expect the open air campaign. As a culture, at Must, we have always had the open air campaigns at the Cyclone Square, which is literally always a day before voting. We are still in discussions as the Electoral Commission to see how best we can have these open air campaigns. We cannot ascertain that we shall have them as of now, because they attract very many numbers. And this is a time to be very vigilant of the COVID-19 pandemic, especially that students have just reported. They come from different parts of the country, and we do not know who is in good condition health-wise or who has the virus. So it is important and imperative that as the Electoral Commission, we keenly and vividly understand how best we are going to have these open air campaigns. But for now, as the Electoral Commission, we cannot ascertain that they are going to be physically held. We shall give a statement, we shall release a statement on how these open air campaigns will be held. The big day, which many of us actually look up to, is the Friday, 4th of February 2022, where we shall be voting our good presidents that are going to be in office for a few months, I may say, 6 or 5, depending on how we shall align as the Electoral Commission. That will be on Friday, 4th February. That is when we shall vote for the good president. Important to remind you once again that as students, it is our right to come and exercise this voting right. Many students there, especially the new students that have just come in, may not be informed of when we shall vote. The young students, I implore all of you to ensure that you inform the new students that have just come into the university. They may not be well acquainted with these dates on when we shall be voting. Let us share the information widely. Let us share any document from the Electoral Commission with our friends, because at the end of the day, what we do is for the students, and our mandate is to make sure we have a free and fair election. We shall have the ratification of ministers, and that will depend on the good president that will have been voted. And finally, we shall vote for the speakers. That is the deputy speaker and the speaker on board. That is the basic roadmap that we are looking at right now. And we are not hoping to see any changes unless otherwise. Thank you very much. I will address a few issues that I have so far encountered in the university. I've received several complaints from the good president aspirant, especially on the missing banners in the university. I want to clear this on air, but the university and the Electoral Commission do not have a hand in any act of pulling down your banners and posters. Because there is no reason whatsoever for university administration to pull down your banners at 3 a.m. in the night. So, to anyone out there informing the students that the university is against them to put up their banners in the university, that is not right. I want to continue to remind you that there are rules and regulations that the Electoral Commission follows. You have all been requested not to litter the university with your posters. Kindly pay attention to that notice. Anyone going against it is liable to a fine from the Electoral Commission. Usually, and most of the times, we do not encourage people to put up their posters before getting duly nominated. We have seen this, and as the Electoral Commission, we are well informed, and we are going to take the right action when the right time comes. For any questions that need to be addressed, we are here as the Electoral Commission, and we are ready to answer every question. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. You who is still watching AYIT TV and also listening to ayitradio.com. This is the moment of truth, the moment we've been waiting for, and we are having the chairman, Election Commission, Mbarara University of Science and Technology, unveiling a roadmap that we believe is going to lead into our next guild president of Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Chair, before we roll onto the some of the questions these students are sending, we are voting the 30-something guild president. I don't know if you don't mind, we could make that clear so that we roll very well.
Thank you very much. In the history of Mbarara University, I have served in the 31st guild office, and the incoming guild president will be the 32nd guild president of Mbarara University of Science and Technology.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. We understand that a term of the serving guild usually should actually not go below 8 months. Could you have echoed that as one of the reasons we are having a hasty kind of program?
Thank you very much. Just like I said at the start, we initially should have held the elections in September, but because of the pandemic and the different issues that have been here and there, and having the academic year been shortened, because right now the academic year has really been very, very shortened, where we expect people to go into office for around 6 months. So with that at hand, we have seen that the electoral process and the electoral commission decided that yes, we can only serve according to the academic year that has been put into place. So the people going to serve will serve in line with how long the academic year has been set in place. If the academic year is 9 months, then we expect people in office to serve for around 6 months, and maybe they hold an election in the 7th month.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's come back to now elections, and most people, most questions are interested in the guild presidential candidates. Number one is after from the roadmap you just read, you say we will verify. There is a verification process immediately after nominations. One would want to be curious what is going to happen after that. In case you find a Sankara who does not qualify, yet you're already nominated, how are you prepared to handle such a situation?
Thank you very much. Of course, we shall have to verify after nomination. But in an instance that you do not qualify, the Electoral Commission will invite you for a discussion on how best you be maybe refunded your money or any other agreement that may come on board. That is the organization, and that is what the Electoral Commission is looking forward to doing. In case you have been nominated and on verifying with the AR, you do not stand to go on and contest as a good president, you will be invited prior to voting so that you can be informed early enough, and for anything that may need an organization of understanding or anything like that, you'll be informed by the Electoral Commission.
Yeah, Chair, we understand that before someone is nominated, there is a nomination fee that perhaps they are going to be paying. Also to say that because someone is campaigning before they get nominated, perhaps there are fines also. Through that process, someone could have already paid you some money. So in case I get disqualified at the level of verification, are you putting it right that is there a chance that we will be refunded, or part of that money perhaps could have already facilitated some processes in the EC?
Thank you very much. I'll give this brief information about this. For the GRCs and GRC secretaries, nomination fee for the GRC is 40,000 Ugandan shillings. The GRC secretaries, it is 35,000 Ugandan shillings. When it comes to verification, if you have paid that amount, it is non-refundable. For the guild presidents, If we verify with the academic registry and you are not liable to stand, from what will have resided into the verification, for the nomination fee of guild presidents, it will be refundable on certain decisions that we shall make. But basically, the commitment fee that you pay is non-refundable. Only the nomination fee of 300,000 shillings can be refundable.
Yes, talking about that, what could be a few things that may land a candidate into problems? We are talking about fines, for example. We are talking about the verification process in the AR. What could be those few key things the Electoral Commission might consider to either fine a candidate or disqualify one?
One of the biggest issues is if you have any indiscipline cases registered within the university, that totally disqualifies you from being nominated by the Electoral Commission. Another reason is going against the rules and regulations of Electoral Commission may really make you not to qualify to be nominated. And I implore all of you to continue critically following the rules and regulations of Electoral Commission, lest that some of you may not be nominated. Another reason as to why you, a candidate out there having interest, may not be nominated is if you have 3 retakes that have been registered within the university, that does not allow you to get nominated. So it is important that you try to align yourself with your papers early enough.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Chair. The other one is about political parties. We understand that a few candidates are preparing to come under some tickets of national political parties of Uganda. Does the Electoral Commission, the Guild Electoral Commission, have anything to do with party businesses? Or is it official that one must have a party? Or what do you have to comment about parties generally in the EC perspective?
As the Electoral Commission of Must, we really have nothing to do with the parties. It's up to a candidate to choose a party or to come as an independent candidate. And for us, leaders, we are looking at 10 years from now where we're going to engage ourselves in national politics. So, for anyone that is willing to associate with any political party, I really would have nothing against him or her, because at the end of the day, we are ushering ourselves to serve countrywide and at national level. So as the Electoral Commission of Barrow University, we have nothing against anyone choosing to affiliate him or herself with any political party.
Okay, thank you very much. This one, this is Magembe. He says, how are you going to handle the voting on the vote counting on the final day? Are you prepared for any chaos? Is it going to be outdoor or indoor? I think he has a fear, he has some fear about how free and fair the election is going to be, and particularly the counting day. I think in this case, I would wish to think that Magembe is referring to the Guild presidential elections.
Yes, thank you, Magembe, for that question. And thank you for taking time to inquire, because at the end of the day, this is why I'm here, and this is why the Electoral Commission is here, to attend to every question. And on that very question, as the Electoral Commission, just like I said from the start, our mandate is to have a free and fair election. And of course, we cannot allow that the counting of votes goes indoor. No, we want to count votes when people are clearly saying. And we are working day and night to make sure that we have a free and fair election. The votes will be manned by 3 security men, and we shall have security that very day on the polling stations to ensure that there is no chaos caused on that day. And I assure you, as the Electoral Commission, we are going to have a free and fair election. We do not mean intimidate or fear or increase fear in any one of you out there. But the security men that will be around will be just to basically allow law and following the rules and regulations of the East that day and allowing that we have a free and fair election that day.
Thank you very much, Chair. I should be able to hand over to my colleague. There could be other questions that are coming, particularly from YouTube and Facebook. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sankara. And I thank our chairperson, the Electoral Commission 2022. One more question from one of the students. Who will be eligible to contest for the guild presidency seat? Who is eligible?
Any students, as long as you are not in year one, you are not if you are in year one, you are not eligible to stand as a guild president. Constitutionally, when you have not spent one academic year at the university, you are not eligible to stand. And another reason that may make a person ineligible to stand is when you have less than one academic year to stand. And in this scenario, we mean if you do not have 2 semesters at the university, you are not eligible to stand. Anyone that lies within that docket is not eligible to stand. Thank you. I don't know if that clearly answers the question.
All right. That answers the question. And then you talked about the voting process and the registration. And one has sent a question. I am a student, still home, and I will come mid-semester. With the registration, or it will have ended? And if it has ended, will I be able to vote because I have my national?
Thank you very much for that question. As the Electoral Commission, we are working along with the university program. And by this time, we expect every student to be at the university. And that is why we did not start registering students when they were in their homes, but we started the process when they were at the university premises. And as the Electoral Commission, we expect every student of Mbarara University right now to have reported. And for anyone out there that has not been registered, we are displaying registers. And if you come when the process has ended, you will not be allowed to vote because you will not be in the register. Thank you.
Then about you talked banners and posters before time. You to tell.
For now, it is confidential to the Electoral Commission because it is still under discussion. We have received several complaints from people who have not yet put up their banners, and as the Electoral Commission, we are still discussing on the basic fine that shall be asked or given to those people that have put up their banners and posters before having been duly nominated. For now, I cannot ascertain what kind of fine it will be.
All right, thank you so much, Chairperson Electoral Commission, and we hope for the best in these elections. Let me hand the microphone back to Sankara to wind up the show.
Okay, thank you very much. You are still listening via ayitradio.com and you is watching Ayit TV. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. This has been a press conference of the Must Guild Electoral Commission. The chairman has been releasing the roadmap we are about to start rolling with. Chair, thank you very much. Unless you have a few more comments to put across or any other message to put across, please, this is your chance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sankala. I want to once again thank HTV for giving us this opportunity. As MUST students, we are always grateful for every opportunity that you put out there. And I want to also thank you enough for engaging most of our students in 8 TV programs. Trust me, it is not about engaging them only, but they're also developing skills. I encourage you, fellow students, at MUST, to get yourself used to being hosted here and working with HTV. And finally, I encourage all of you to turn up and vote for your GRCs on the 21st of January, which will be a Friday, and for your guild president on the February, which will also be a Friday, 2022. I encourage you once again to continue following the rules and regulations and to desist from any kind of violence, especially in this electoral process. Thank you very much. Succeed we must.
Succeed we must, and empowering you. Those are the slogans of MUST and AIT TV respectively. And we can only promise you, you is listening and you is watching, that we are going to continue doing this exclusive coverage until MUST votes their next guild president. Thank you very much. Until we meet, the next broadcast we are making is when we are nominating the guild presidential candidates. Thank you, AIT TV, empowering you.
The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
AIT TV.